was the Unchained. Unfortunately, Jay will not be with us today. She is off. What's she doing? She's joking around with Jesus and Jordan. She should be back next week. Well, hopefully not actually for her sake, because we won't. But be back next episode. In the meantime, I've got these lovely 4 chaps. Who wants to tell me what happened last session? Episode was titled something. It was a good title, I'm sure.
Something to do with the mines.
Lost in the Mines.
Yes, Lost in the Mines. Oh yeah, that would tell us what happened last session. Who wants to do a recap for us?
So we started off. We started off having picked up the trail from the young boy. I can't remember the young boy's name, but I remember the girl's name. But anyway, that didn't happen yet. Zach, that's right.
Yeah.
So Zach went missing, and his parents were looking for him, and we followed a trail to the mines, and we went into the mines, and they had been closed recently, and the mother of Zach was like, "That's weird. I only worked in the mines like the other week," and then we went down, and we could hear like a faint, like I think like girl's voice, like calling out in the distance. So we went down, and we started off following the tracks of the mine cart, but then Boxo saw something shiny, and so he went off, and we followed, and luckily enough we avoided some sort of pitfall type scenarios because like we were on like in a non-stable area of the upper levels of the mines. And then we continued down till we got to a point where a piercer fell upon us, and then more piercers fell upon us, and we dealt with them accordingly. As they blended in with the stalactites. And then we went off in one direction, and Toothy got. I think we went off in one direction because we heard like some evil sounding, like, you know, thing of like you know, some creature saying something like, if you want to see them alive, blah 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 blah, or something like that. I don't remember. But and then we investigated that, and then there was darkness in this part of the cave, and then Toothy went in and got garroted, and then we managed to find out that they were what do they call it? Like measles, like I was gonna say measles.
Yeah, measles is right.
Yeah,
that is exactly.
It is measles.
They are measles.
I was like, that can't be right.
That can't be right. It is.
And then I just remember seeing them in like one of the monster manuals, and I was like, those things are cool because they look cool. And then we beat one to the point where it surrendered and was like, I'll take you to I'll take you to where the, you know, the girl and the boy is and that. And then the other one kept on attacking Boxo. It garroted Boxo specifically. Mm-hmm. And then we launched that one down a pit. And then the other one, whose name was Askumanagega, we found out, led us to a deeper in the mine where there was more, but he was like, oh, I'll make sure it's all good. And then he's like, he got us to a point where it's like, I don't know where they are now. And then we're like, oh, well, we'll just go in a direction because I think we called out, but it got quiet. And then we followed a direction, and then we found Zach and Gresha the girl who we could hear, who were sort of trapped, but in this weird stalemate weird thing with this like baby purple worm, and Zach was keeping it at bay by feeding it just like a bunch of apples like continuously, and we defeated it. The mother got swallowed, but we got her out, and we brought her back up to life, and she was all right. 'Cause she I think technically died.
She was 1 hit point off technically dying.
Yeah, okay.
She was just very unconscious.
Yeah, she's very unconscious. And then we got back up to the surface, where the 2 children got a scolding from the mother, and then Gresha was like, I have no one to, like, it turned out that Zach followed Gresha into the mine because her parents were down there and they died. Or like one of her parents, I can't remember. And then yeah, both her parents. And then she's like, I got nowhere to go. And then it's like, oh well, like I think there was a bit of like, oh well, surely you can go with Zach's parents. And then it was like, oh no, Zach's mum like fucking hates Gresha and would rather be like
that is true.
And yeah, and it's like, oh no, I'd rather see a child on the street because I have a petty grudge against her. Than
she was staying with her aunt, right? But her aunt's a was leaving her at home alone all day. So the father had asked if you could find somewhere else for her to stay.
Yeah, because once again, the parents are shitty parents. But
something like that.
Yeah, hey, I calls it as I sees it. But anyway, so he was like, take her to a temple or something like that. So we talked about what kind of temple, and we asked her, and she's like, oh well, I like music, and I can play a bit of some sort of instrument. I can't remember what instrument. So we went to the temple of the music god,
the lyre.
Of the lyre. Yeah, that's it. And then we talked with the receptionist, and then we talked with one of the main important people, and we also found one of the bards, Merrigan. Yeah, that's her name. And we talked with the person in charge for a bit, and then Merrigan's like about taking on this, taking on Gresha, and then Merrigan's like, I'll take it, and it's like, oh well, all right, and then that was kind of it.
Yeah. I think the only thing missed is that High Priestess Felicia also gave you a quest. Annals of Thram. Who was a bard who died returning from Janos, who liked to visit the Savage West. It's not really a quest that you're just going to get up and go and do, but should you be in the area, it might be worth looking around for. And then it was suggested to you that you stayed at the Wayfarer's Rest. This is a tavern familiar to you, as it's where the campaign began.
Yeah.
Do I assume that indeed you would head there and get yourself a night's rest?
I think before
it's only about 3 o'clock in the afternoon right now, but just in general, like, is that where you would be heading?
Oh yeah,
yeah. We were familiar with it. We already stayed there.
Mm-hmm. It also means that you'll be escorting Merrigan and the girl. Merrigan's staying at the Wayfarer's Rest, and that's where the girl will be staying now. And as an apprentice, Merrigan, she'll have to be there. She'll probably go. You'll know she'll probably go around and collect collects, what do you call it? Donations? Sure, that'll do. Not the word I'm looking for, but yeah. She'll go around and collect donations towards Merrigan's playing and whatever.
I like tips.
Tips, that's the word I was looking for. Thank you. It was very far away from my brain. I just could not find it. I was like, I don't know. She'll collect those things, coins that people throw at you. Maybe. Yeah. Anyway, so if that's where you guys are headed, you walk along the streets with Gresha and thingy.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, as you arrive at the tavern, you can see St. Helena behind the bar. It's looking kind of like it's already getting a bit busy. It's only sort of 4 o'clock in the afternoon right now. Yeah, it's already beginning to fill up quite a lot. Merrigan sort of looks around and realizes that she's going to be busy tonight, and she looks to Gresha and why don't you ooh, new role player. You have unlocked the 6th party member. She will turn around to you guys and be like, can Gresha like sit with you for a little bit while I go upstairs and get the room ready and secure the room? And she sort of gives you a knowing nod as if to say, I need to make the room child ready.
I'm sorry, I missed everything you just said in the last, 5 minutes.
That's
perhaps.
okay. That's okay. Naomi's very distracted. Okay, so
Sorry.
very
she's
quickly.
got a.
That's all right. Not your fault. Well, I mean, it kind of is. You birthed the thing, but
I did.
yeah. Anyway.
Came straight from my womb.
Oh yes, yours definitely. You were involved in the birthing of that thing. Anyway, so basically,
Yeah, I was there.
Merrigan, the mother, Merrigan the bard has asked if you guys will allow Gresha to sit with you at your table while she goes upstairs to make her room child ready. She sort of gives you a knowing nod as if you should know exactly what she means by that. I know
Don't take it too long.
He doesn't know what a brother is. But some of the rest of you might.
Don't take it too long, man.
That's all right. I'll be a minute or two, maybe 5. I'll tell Helena that food's on me. All of you.
Oh, thank you for that.
That's all right.
This makes caring for the child much easier.
I do eat for free here, so it's not me sparing my coin. It's only persuading her to share the joy with you. You know that almost always bards eat for free at taverns that they stay at as long as they're playing, and usually they can extend that to a couple of guests now and then. So after she goes upstairs, Gresha will sort of look up at you all and... Is she going to be nice? I think.
She seems nice. What do you think?
She's pretty. I like her hair.
We have met her before here. Actually, we've stayed here before, and she played for us, and she was very beautiful in her playing, and she was very nice then. So I trust that she'll be very nice to you. Oh,
At the
no
very
need to
least,
thank
you
us.
may be a talented musician after it's all said and done.
Maybe. Do you think they have meat?
I'm sure.
For dinner?
I'm sure, yeah.
Like real meat? We get like proper meat? So you'll know that obviously living as a peasant, she doesn't really get meat very often. Tends to get like plain vegetable stew.
I guess
maybe
Petra will look
porridges.
for
But what's
so
non-real meat in this world?
Yeah.
Scraps, you know, so she might get like bits of rat or...
Okay, right, just
you know.
other meat. It's just non.
Okay.
And also
okay.
not like properly
Beef or
butchered and
pork
stuff,
or
but it's
whatever.
like the mum has, you know, found around in the back of the cellar and she's chopped its head off and chopped it into
Right,
small
yeah.
pieces.
You don't mean like vegan sausages.
Beyond.
Lab grown meat.
Or maybe like illusory sausages,
Yeah.
right? They're just not even real.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Feels like you're eating them. Wow,
Oh, it's like that scene in
we know Velzekis' new business idea. Illusory sausages.
Sausages.
Yeah, anyway, so as you look around, you can flag down Helena. She's sort of looking over at you guys anyway. Every time that anyone has ever been in this tavern, Helena has been working. You know that her husband owns the place, but you've never seen the husband, only Helena.
Excuse me.
Hi. I got you something.
Yeah, perhaps a round of drinks for the adults and
All
the girl, she is hungry.
you all drinking ale?
Are we?
Well,
Drink of watered down
I'll
ale?
just.
Before
Yeah,
you...
sure. I'm not trying to get tanked right now. I just need some
No, no. you'd know that like watered down ales, like that's what they serve with breakfast and lunch. Like back in these days, back in the old days, and in this sort of fantasy world, ale had a sort of ABV, if you will, of like 0.5%. It's not really alcoholic at all. It's just it's made with some alcohol. No, the alcohol is mostly to keep it clean.
Exactly.
Could they do a lager in black?
No. What is that? This doesn't exist. Lager just doesn't exist in the world, Josh. You can have some blackcurrant in your ale.
It's like sausage.
Would that be the same? Would that be like lager in black?
No.
Wait, what's lager in black?
So, if you have like a pint of Peroni, for example, right? You would put like blackcurrant, concentrate in it,
it's kind of like a Kir Royale, but with beer instead of champagne.
Yeah. What do you call cordial? That's what I'm looking for. Blackcurrant cordial.
A cordial.
Yeah, it sort of makes the drink go purple, and it's more traditionally put in cider.
Oh, it's very nice.
It's cider and black or lager and lime usually, but
I've only ever heard lager and black.
people do have lager and black too. Like it exists. It's a very British pub drink for people in the early afternoon because they feel like if they put blackcurrant in it, they're not drinking as much right early in the day, which is total bullshit. But yeah, so she'll give you a tankard of watered down.
That's sad. Just drink. That's what we do.
Well, so do we. We just try and make excuses for it.
Yeah, we don't.
My favourite is the people that you can't drink before 11 a.m. in Weatherspoons, which is like the typical where every cheap drinker goes to. So the real drinkers, what they'll do is they'll go to the off-license next door, or the newsagents, they'll buy a 4-pack of beer, and they'll keep it outside, like they'll... In the smoking section, they'll go out to have a cigarette and they'll drink that while ordering.
I've seen
Coke.
that. I saw that when I was last
sad.
in London. I was staying in Hammersmith, and like as soon as I walked out of our hotel, it was like 10 a.m. and I looked over. There was like tables at the pub that's not even open, and they're just like, dudes with like beers all over them, and they're just like, and I'm like, it's fucking 9:30 in the morning. What are you doing?
Yeah, have some respect. Do it over a barbecue. But anyway, shall offer your watered down ale, tankard of watered down ale, and 5 cups, yeah?
Yeah.
And the girl, she's hungry.
Oh, well, are you all eating? You did skip lunch because you were in a mine.
Yeah, it's true.
Right. Well, the meat's on the spit. It should be ready shortly. We've got a pig on the spit. Serving it with roast potatoes and vegetables. Or I've got a stew. With some of this morning's bread. Any preference? She wants the pig.
Yeah.
We will wait.
You'll all wait? What are you waiting for?
The pig on the spit to be finished.
Right. Oh, no, I see what you mean. I see. I thought you meant you will wait till later and just the girl will eat.
Oh,
right.
no, like, I think, yeah.
5 rounds of pork. X.
Yes, please.
Is Merrigan eating?
I think she will.
No, likely. Very good. And she'll sort of come back and she'll ask you for a single copper piece for the ale, because whilst you can eat for free on American Stab, you can't drink for free. But it's 1 copper piece for a lot of you. So you can just take that out of the group loot if you want, if there's any money in the group loot. There is.
There is.
So it'll be technically it's usually a copper shard for an ale, but they're just going to charge you a copper piece for a tankard, large tankard, and refill it once. Just a reminder that although we charge copper shards, we don't keep track of them in D&D Beyond, so I try and round up where possible. Precious sort of sits with you, and you think she'll be long? What do you think she's doing?
I don't really know, but she's just probably making her bed and taking her dirty clothes. And
as you say this, can I take a perception check from anybody with a positive modifier? I think it's probably everyone.
Let's see.
Not me.
nah.
A positive modifier and perception? Sure.
22.
That's 13 from Pietro.
Okay, Boxo. You see at the very sort of back of the tavern, Merrigan ushering a fairly large-looking human gentleman down the stairs and out the door. He seems to be holding a couple of bags. She's just sort of like shooing him out. You don't have to comment if you don't want to. Sorry, carry on, Toothy.
Oh, and maybe making a place for you to stay and
She did say the first few days I'd have to share with her, and then she'd get me my own room. So that makes sense.
yeah.
Perhaps the room
Yeah.
smells and she's just airing it out or something.
Why would her room smell? You think she smells?
Maybe she farts a lot.
Right.
Some people tend to sweat profusely.
The more you say about this, the more she looks a little disgruntled. Like this very beautiful elf. Definitely a smelly elf. It won't be long before Helena brings around the drinks. And you see Marigan sort of come down the stairs and look over at you all. And she sort of gestures to say, like, do you mind another 10 minutes?
I sort of look at her like, we're not suited to taking care of children.
Okay, she comes over and she's like, right, okay. I need to go to the shops. Do you want to come with me, Gresha? I'm sure the food won't be long. I need a new string for my harp. And Gresha will sort of nod and smile, and the two of them will head out together, and Mary will say, do you mind if we join you to eat, though? He seems to have taken a real liking to you.
Of course.
And
I'll
then,
be right back.
yep. And then Gresha and Marigan will go out, leaving you guys sat at the table to tell them.
I think she might be unusually reliant on the harp for her income the next few days, so it makes sense to get a string.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Why is she taking so long to fix her room up? I was just saying stuff, just pulling shit out of me ass.
You suggested that's what she was doing.
Oh yeah, I don't know. I'm not a good liar.
She had a friend up there.
Oh well, like that's all right. We could have met this friend.
I don't think it's a friend you meet.
What kind of friend is a friend that you don't meet?
I don't know. And I just start sipping at my drink.
All right then. Keep your secrets.
I think the point is to keep the secrets from the little girl. It's a sort of friend, Toothy, that would pay to be in your room. As I say, she might need the harping income for the next few days.
What?
How
Paid it?
rude! You called my bar a slut!
Who pays?
Finally, Pietro's back from the bathroom.
What's happening?
Would you finish explaining this situation to Toothy?
Which
Okay, so I think I'm getting it. She has a spare bed, and she's renting it out, and that's the bed she needs to get free for Gresha. And so she's like, "No, excuse me, person that's in this spare bed, you have to leave because I have another occupant of the bed."
she has a gentleman to call her. Is that what you mean? Is that what he means?
Boxo did mention that, yes. Boxo did say that he saw a man leaving the room, her ushering a man out of the room.
Well, you see, Sometimes there are people in this world who care not for matters of the heart. And they only desire carnal pleasures. You understand?
Oh, they were having sex. That's... Why can't you just say that?
Why you? I'll turn to the other 2 or 3. Why you speak to him like he's an idiot? He's not a child. How old are you?
That's good.
You.
Oh, around, I think I'm around 20, 24.
Nobody
you
has
go
ever
by-
more vague than when asked how old their character is when they haven't written it on their sheet. They're just like, I know I'm an adult.
You-
Put me on the spot, huh? Bastard.
You go by.
Sorry, Jack.
Well, no, it's you go by how many. You go like I heard about this. You go by how many times the sun goes around the world, right?
Wait,
So,
And I hope you're not
so
more than
that's
24.
I'm 20. No, I'm 24. If that's the case, or something like that. You guys do age differently to us, so it's that's the best I think we're gonna get.
Pietro's been lost.
Anyway, my point
the
is,
sun goes round the world.
My point is, you know the difference between making a love and a fucking.
Nah, they're the same.
Well, then we can speak after.
Boxo gets a bit squeamish during this conversation.
It's all passion.
Wise words. But the little girl's not here anymore, right?
She,
Left with Mary.
yeah, American's taken her shopping
Okay.
for 10 minutes.
Thank God. Thank God. I wouldn't have been so vulgar if the little girl was
Oh,
still
no, of course.
around. Yeah.
But yeah, as you guys are chatting away, American comes back in with a girl, and sort of sits down at the table. She makes herself very comfortable. She seems very relaxed with the whole sort of, you guys are kind of strangers, and she's very much. She just seems very much at ease, barred. Shortly after she sits down, the food is served, and she sort of tucks right in. She's got no airs and graces. You would expect her to be sort of posh and delicate, but instead she's absolutely hardly tucking in. Gresha looks fascinated by this pork. You can see her she's taking the smallest cuts ever and putting it in her mouth and really savoring every single tiny little morsel. And she sort of looks up at Merrigan and, are we gonna eat like this all the time? He sort of looks down at her and, no, we normally eat in the evening, and we normally eat in our rooms. We don't normally, or perhaps, at the corner of the tavern. I wouldn't normally take a table in front of the patrons. I meant the food. Oh, yeah. Well, we eat like this sort of food most of the time. And you can just see Gresha, her jaws drop. She's just amazed. She thinks that she's won the jackpot.
I want to break up a big piece of skin from this pork and sort of look at her and kind of wink and start chewing on it, encouraging her to do the same.
Yeah, she keeps with her little tiny bites. Just enjoying every single little mouthful.
I'll shake my head.
She gives you a smile, but attempt to copy.
Can you not have the skin? The crispy skin.
Well, she will, but she'll just take a little tiny bite of it, each time.
Sanity.
I'll tell you, here's what weird though is the way we eat with this spiky thing and this cutty thing.
Spicy
Mate,
thing in the cutty.
That is, yeah.
The cutty thing's like a
Like,
small sword. They call it a
It
knife.
is like it's like a little dagger. Like, what's the point of it? Like, why do you serve it? Why do you guys serve food that you have to use little metal implements to eat it? It's so inconvenient.
Thought of it that way.
You guys have yet to figure out the best way to cook, which is you cook ways where you pick it up with bread, like little flat bread, and then you eat it, and then you have like a little sandwich with every bite, and it's the best. and then you can mix and match what's in the sandwich because
Pietro
like
will
you
look
have
down
like
at his hands. I don't want to get my hands dirty.
no, but that's what the bread stops it from
But my
getting dirty. But then there's more bread, and then you wipe off the residue with the bread, and then you feed the bread
Is
to
there
the
any
to
is
your
there any
pets.
bread on the table right now?
No, I think you all have the pork.
We didn't get any bread with the fucking meal.
No, they give you bread with the stew, but they don't give you bread with the pork.
I'm gonna ask
Would you
Helena.
expect when served a roast dinner? Would you expect bread?
No.
No, I didn't think so. Yeah,
But
Hannah
like
sort of.
sometimes restaurants give a bread basket.
Can I help
know?
you? You need a refill? She gestures
No.
towards the tankard.
Can you bring over a loaf of bread?
Yeah, of course. It'll be one of this morning's loaves, but they're still quite fresh.
That's a fine.
And after a moment,
Boxo's finished his
she
dinner.
brings over sort of like, it's bread, but it's quite like it's one of those the loaves that's almost solid on the outside, right? You can hit it and it'll make a
Yeah.
doop, doop, doop noise.
That's-
But if
that's-
you carve it
Pietro's
open,
plan.
it's soft on the inside.
Yeah. What do I owe you?
No, it's part of the. It's fine.
Thank you. And I'll take the bread and I'll rip.
American
it
there
half.
will bring in far more money than she'll cost.
True. Yeah, I'll rip off just like a piece and do as Tooth and Claw has taught me.
The only problem with this is that you have to carve up the meat first and then use the bread, right?
That's what I'm saying.
I'm assuming I have some pieces on my plate
Yeah,
already.
yeah.
So I'll just like sop up like the meat with like the juices off my plate with the bread and sort of eat it.
As you do this, Gresha will sort of reach over and take like a tiny piece of bread and start copying. And then Merrigan will start to talk to her about what she needs to do tonight. And she'll need to go around and sort of collect from the patrons, and she'll need to go and collect her drinks from the bar. And she might advertise, and then she'll say later on that like she should listen to all the words because at some point she might be encouraged to sing along or to play a simple, tambourine or something. And with that, Merrigan will sort of get up and look at you all, and I'm gonna set up. Send the girl over when she's done eating, if you will. If you need to move off, that's absolutely fine. She'll be fine at the table. With that,
Alright.
she'll head over to her little there's a sort of slightly raised dais on which she can sit, and will be her little stage. And
Boxer, did you want to say something? I thought I heard you pipe up before.
Oh, I was just gonna say that Boxo ate Boxo ate as if he'd never been fed before. And like quite literally licked the plate clean. He ate very, very quickly.
Nothing left to
Bloody
sop
hell,
up with the
mate.
bread.
That was
Yeah,
nothing.
As I was saying, so like if you get your hands dirty, you need more bread, and then you use the bread to wipe your hands, and then your pets that you have, you feed the bread to your pets so that nobody goes hungry. This is the thing. People tend to go hungry around here, and I don't bloody get it. And with that, I'm gonna stand up and I'm gonna walk around to Gresha. I'm gonna kneel. I'm gonna take her hands. I'm gonna say, Gresha, you've inspired me. You've inspired me to make a few promises. To you, to people like you, and to myself.
and
And
intimidated.
it's alright, mate. But I promise that I will strive to ensure that no one goes without. And I promise that I will strive to ensure that everyone can rest safe. My final promise is that I will strive to ensure that everyone can learn to thrive.
That's like you did for me.
Yes.
You think I'm gonna thrive?
I think you. Well, I guess that's the best you can do. I was going to say you got to do better than that, and I reckon you could. I reckon you can do anything, mate.
She's very good. She points towards American who's singing.
Yeah, she's beautiful.
That'll be me one day. Then she sort of gets down from her chair and she sort of, while you're kneeling, just sort of wraps her hands around your mane, if you will. Sort of buries her head in the side of your fur. And then she will go round to Rhea and give her a little hug as well. And then she'll sort of nod towards Merrigan in that she knows she must now do her little sort of duties, if you will. But she sort of turns back to you a couple of times as she's doing so, with a little smile on her face. Leaving you guys to... I mean, you probably finished eating at this point. What's the plan? It's about 4:30, 5 o'clock. I'm assuming we're not going to sit in the tavern for the whole evening and watch Merrigan and Brusher.
Nah. Well,
Maybe.
is Toothy like shining with a radiant light right now?
He's shining with an oath of liberty, I believe.
Nice.
What was the first one, Jack?
I
I think I missed.
I promise that I will strive to ensure that no one goes without.
Okay, thank you.
And by no one, do you mean absolutely no one? Because that seems very easy to break.
I will do my
Like within
my
his
best to make
Yeah,
sure
yeah, of
that
course.
within my power, no one goes without. So if I see someone that I can do something, if I see someone that I can do something about it, I will have to do something about it.
Okay, yeah.
On the way to the city gates tomorrow. Unfortunately, Tooth and Claw was left behind. He had to stop at all 76 beggars. We never saw him again.
Yeah.
But
If I can't do anything about it, I can't do anything about it.
Okay,
seeing your act, Rhea will be quite inspired, and she'll inform you that she wants to sort of renew her vows to her own goddess, and she's going to stay at the Temple of Gaecelia tonight. And she will head out because Jay is not here. I don't want to roleplay her character. Leaving you
Smart
guys
move.
to. I don't know. What are you going to do? Are you going to spend the night in the tavern gambling? Are you going to play some silly tavern games with all these meddlesome weirdos? Are you going to go shopping? Do you want to?
Let's go
see what
find out what a
quests are
brothel
about?
is.
That's a good team activity.
How
isn't
late? How late is it, James? You said.
At 4:30, 5 o'clock.
Oh, that's pretty early. We can do
Yeah.
a shopping trip and like an evening shopping trip.
Oh, yeah.
Go and spend the whole day doing it tomorrow or something. Can
I've
set
seen
off-
some people in like really shiny metal armor. That seems pretty cool. Eventually, I want to get some of that. I don't know how much that is, but eventually, guys, I want to get some.
Just to give me a concept, Jack, how shiny and metal is it? Heavy or medium? Which you're looking at?
Heavy, heavy. I'm looking at plate eventually,
Oh,
starting
yeah.
off with chain.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That chain might be a bit more manageable.
Yeah.
Chain's not half bad. Does anyone have any inklings?
I'd also like to get some armor if possible. I'm currently wearing none.
Oh my god. Well, we're getting you armor first.
Well, to be fair, he's had mage armor on him, right? At one point, I think. That happened?
No,
Or was that
okay.
last campaign?
No.
I can't remember.
And no,
was
that was
Chronicle,
last
wasn't it?
campaign.
Yeah.
That was, yeah.
Okay. Let's go shopping. We need to sell some of the stuff that we've
Yeah, so you want to
procured.
sell before buying, I assume. What's the plan? Are we going to ask Helena for directions around Vazra? Are you just going to head out and see what shops you see? Like, how long were you here, Pietro, before anyone else? A couple of weeks?
Like in Vazra,
Vazra, yeah.
I would say like a few weeks.
Yeah, so you probably know at least a couple of stores. You'd know the general store, which is where's my thing? I minimized something and now I'm really lost. There we go. You'd know. Oh, it's called Vazra General Wares. is a great place to sell stuff. You also, of course, know about the Perfect Mix, which is the alchemists that
It's a great name.
You bustled on into. Thank you. You bustled on into before they opened previously.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to just head to that street and sort of head to the merchant stores around there, or?
Can I interject for a moment? Who actually has the money that is our group money?
True.
Who actually has the money? If we're like who would carry it?
carrying it, you
Unless Boxo is vying for it.
Boxer's got
I
his
assume
own
I'm
pouch.
carrying. I assume I'm carrying most of everything.
Okay.
Cool.
Before we head out shopping and things, to sort of insist the question that, suppose I went off down an alley to purchase something myself. I've got naught to my name. Fortunately, pulled out the copper for the ale. Well, quite frankly, I would be performing this evening if you're not to share some of the coin. So that's my first order of business. Either get money from you or get it from these random people here, sis.
Well, shall we split it 5 ways?
Yeah, we split it.
Just to point out, at the moment, you're sort of probably the easiest thing to do is just to take 7 silver each. That'll be the 35 silver that's selling your group loot tracker. And then from there, we can sort of sort out other stuff if you do want to split it all from the tracker.
Well, and both in and out of character, I would be fine with some bulk of it staying, right? You know what I mean? Like, but just like, I have literally 0. So you know what I mean? So like, if I were ever just separated, I couldn't pay for anything.
Yeah, I have 1 silver.
Okay.
So that makes sense for now, I think. And then, like, it doesn't need to be all the time necessarily, but
well, I think if you took those 7 silvers each, that's quite a lot of money to do.
Yeah, right,
with.
exactly.
And then you guys can go and sell all the things that you want to sell.
Yeah.
Right, everybody take 7 silver.
Sure.
Because I'm taking the 35 silver away.
I'll give 7 of that to Brea.
Oh, okay. I just sent her a message to add it.
Okay. Send her another message to say she does not need it. Put it back in the loot tracker. She's still sitting on a hoard of gold and not spending any points. She sat on like 20 silver.
What?
Yeah. She's rich. Which makes sense, because she sold a home for this campaign started. Yeah, as you are sort of, goodness me, what was that? A rat just died. Are you heading straight to the general store to sell as much shit as you can?
Yes.
Sure.
Okay.
I mean, I suppose we could ask Helena if she's deciding to act as some sort of concierge as to like where the best armor shop is, or
oh, you'd want hammer and tongs.
Hammer and tongs.
Hi.
What about if we wanted to sell some
the-
crossbows?
I know the woman there, Kezia. She'll do you well for armor and for weapons.
Okay.
But if you want to sell things, you're best off going to Vazra General Wares.
I figure.
Very nice.
Let's go then.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you guys head out to the city proper. Heading straight to the general store, sell some stuff. We'll do this as quickly as possible. What are we selling?
7 light crossbows, the 12 regular daggers. Yep, sorry.
Light crossbows will be... include this in that store. Two silver pieces each.
James.
Yeah.
This might be really annoying if we do this one by one, but I would like to use my background feature to make sure that the prices that we're being given for what we're selling are...
We'll do it merchant by merchant. Go ahead and give me the Give me an insight check with advantage. And Jack, I've just quoted you totally the wrong price, so whatever I said, just ignore it.
I haven't written anything down, so all good.
I got an 18.
You've arrived at I should have started with this. You've arrived at a store called Vazra General Wares. And sitting behind he's got a very large stone building, but inside he's like almost set up a bunch of almost stalls or tents. With lots and lots of different things behind different places, so that it seems organized by type of wares. And you'll notice that the shelves are piled high. And he sort of, come in. I see. You're carrying rather a lot. Are you selling?
Yes.
Oh dear. Well, I'll do what I can. We're not making much. Not making as many sales as I usually did. Damned competition has moved in and taken over. But I'll buy what I can. And as he says this, you get the impression that he seems quite a humble and honest merchant with your 18. And he's offering as fair a price as he can. You will know that the selling price for items is way less than the buying price for items.
Okay. Cool. Sounds good.
Is this gonna harm your business if you purchase the stuff that?
No, if it's beyond my means, I just won't be able to buy it. I'm sure that we'll sell stuff in time. It's just, well, as I say, competition is causing a bit of problem, really.
Another general store has moved in.
Yes, and he's undercutting everyone, actually. Causing trouble for all the other merchants. His name's Vaclis. He's the proprietor of Finest Wares and Oddities, damned store, opened recently. It's ruining countless businesses. I'm lucky that I'm well established here. Some stores closed almost immediately after he opened.
How was he able to undercut so much and still be open?
I don't know. But that's enough of my woes. Sorry, you wanted some goods. Perhaps I could give assistance there.
Oh yeah. I've got some just general general equipment to sell.
Indeed. Go ahead.
Weapons and such. We've got 7 light crossbows between us.
Oh, I like a life crossbow. It's 6 silver pieces each.
6 silver pieces each,
Or,
okay.
if you prefer. Oh, my brain has stopped. 42 silver pieces in total.
Yep, 42.
Holy hell, I thought I knew my times tables. My brain just exited left.
Alright, 12 regular daggers.
Copper piece each.
Copper piece each? Alright.
I'll probably get melted down for...
Yeah. No. I'm not complaining, mate.
No, you're not. It's quite unusual. In fact, you don't tackle in the slightest.
We got a hand crossbow. I'm pretty sure that's pretty fancy. Just like a little one-hander. Pew pew.
Yeah. Or maybe 5 silver pieces.
Yeah, 5. And 120 bolts for the crossbows.
That's a lot of maths. 3 silver pieces.
3.
For the collection.
Beautiful, mate. Lovely doing business. I think we've got other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We have. Now I don't know whether this is.
What are you trying to say,
Whether you're-
Jack? The look on your face was devilish.
No. I'm looking at what we got. Oh, we got 4 just plain old scimitars.
Right. Scimitars are always good. Lots of people who don't really know how to use a weapon, but would like to think they do, use those. I'll give you 3 gold pieces for all 4.
3 gold.
Yeah, scimitars are worth a lot. Even in base D&D, they're quite expensive in comparison to other ones.
Holy shit.
I'll sort of like nudge to Tooth and Claw. Like, stop reacting so hard.
What?
Don't let him.
I whisper really loudly.
You mustn't let him know your hand.
What do you mean? What do you mean about my hands?
I'll explain later.
Okay, I'm sorry if I'm fucking this up. And then 12 more regular daggers.
Sure. He'll sort of look at you and just sort of shake his head and give you. I'll give you 3 coppers for those.
3. Yeah. All right. That's fair. And then we've got this red crystal-y thing which can be made for jewelry, but I don't think.
Didn't somebody lay claim to that for making jewelry?
Oh, okay.
Did I make that up?
I mean, I am a jeweler, and I have. I think
You'll
I
make
wrote
a humongous amount more money if you make jewelry out of it than you will if you just sell it as a crystal.
Okay, yeah.
The difference between like coppers and golds. So.
Okay. I think above table we got 2 green burning candles of the deep. Do we want both?
I'll take 1, and I think Velzik took 1. Or did we get?
Velzekus took 1. Yeah. All right. We've got bloodstones. I don't know what the hell they are.
They're gems.
They're just gems.
They're gems.
He won't buy those. He will tell you that.
Okay.
You need to go to Jules of Vazra. Iraz is a friend of mine. He's just down the road on the right.
Oh, beautiful.
Price.
Thank you.
Sorry, what was that?
He'll give us a good price.
Oh, he will. He's an expert in jewels in the whole of Vazra.
If I mention your name, he'll give us a better price.
I doubt it. His prices are very fixed. They're on the door. Although, if you were to deal with... you were to convince Vaklis to stop undercutting everyone, well then all of us might give you a discount. Or a fairer price.
Is that how it works? You sort of go, I know this person, so give me a better price.
It doesn't tend to work that way all that much here, because they're larger stores, but in the markets, certainly that's how it works.
That's interesting. What happens if you know everyone?
Well, indeed. People who've lived here a long time will get far better prices in the markets than those who are newcomers.
I was going to say, do they get it for free, or...?
No, nothing in Vazra is ever free.
Why not?
City of business and trade. Ruthless in some ways. But,
See?
Backless
Yeah, this gold stuff.
If you deal with him, then we'll definitely, we will be in your debt.
See, this gold stuff puts a bad taste in my mouth. But anyway, let's go. Come on. We've got the. Oh no! I think I tried that once. Single serve of Westland Vintner's vintage wine, and we had someone tell us how much that was worth.
Yeah,
so
he told you you'd get 5 gold pieces for it or more.
Yeah, so
You guys wanting to drink it.
Yeah, do you have 5 gold to give us for that? Is that how that's a weird way of doing it, but
you see him smile with avarice. Boxo would immediately notice that the merchant is delighted to pay only 5 gold pieces for that vintage. But you've given him the price, so he's not on anything to barter. He was going to offer you quite a lot more. So he'll hand you the 5 gold pieces immediately, and yes, well, wonderful. I can definitely sell that, and quickly indeed. You've been wonderful for business today.
Wait.
Yes, I'm waiting.
Wait, before he grabs it.
Oh, right. Sorry.
It's worth more than that.
Your friend here asked for 5 gold pieces.
I I think he was just... I don't know. But it's worth more than that.
Well,
That's why you're so happy. It's because you know you can sell it for more.
indeed, and I will have to sell it for more to make a profit.
But then perhaps we shall negotiate a deal.
Quote me a
Maybe I
price,
don't want to sell it for
then
5
correct
gold.
your price. Perhaps you have the wrong person doing the dealing.
Perhaps we're in the wrong shop, and we can just go to another where we haven't told them the price we're asking for yet.
Perhaps we shall
Yeah.
go visit this Avacalis and get a much
No. We won't visit him.
Little confused by your sales methods, but look, I can stretch to 7 gold pieces.
8.
No,
But what about if we round it up to 10?
No, can't stretch that far. But
hold on.
It is-
I have an idea. No, I have an
8 is
idea.
the fine, he said.
what's your idea? Was it 5 gold?
No,
pieces?
my idea is not 5 gold pieces. Because I have learnt now that it is worth more. I think we help with this Vaclus, and then like we do whatever it needs to be done, so he and his horrible ways of undercutting everyone are dealt with, and then we come back and you pay what is rightfully the price that we should be paid, which is whatever it is, but it's more than the 5 and it might be more than the 8.
If you must know, I can sell this for 15 gold pieces. I usually buy things for half the price I sell them at. So,
Is he telling the truth?
you would believe so. I'll pick it back off your previous 18 insight.
Okay.
Yeah, he might be able to, if he could find like somebody who's specifically looking for that wine, he might be able to sell it
And
for
maybe
quite
you
a
get
lot
more.
Yeah, but if he has
for like
to
a
sell it off to a
collector.
tavern, if he has to sell it off to a tavern, he can definitely get 15 gold pieces for it.
I think 8 is okay.
So,
Okay.
I said, if you deal with Vaclus, you'll have a discount and friendship here forever.
Alright. 8 it is, and you have a deal. We'll deal with this Vaclus.
Sorry, now that we're going to be dealing with something. What is the problem with this chap again?
Well, he's just selling everything that we sell, but for less. All of the other merchants he sells for less than, but he...
Suspiciously
even if we change our
less
price, he changes it the next day to be lower. Always.
Yeah, so he's able to...
He's putting
Perhaps
somehow-
businesses out of
he's-
business.
Perhaps this is just his business practice. This is a free market.
Yeah, but
It
how can
is,
someone
but-
survive long term on doing that? I mean, surely eventually it gets to the point where you buying the product that you then need to sell, like in a sort of, that's what merchants do, right? They eventually lose the profit margins that keep them afloat.
You seem to think most things should be given away for free. This person is as close to that as you're getting around here, and you seem... What's... I don't get it.
Well, maybe it's not their source of income.
Exactly.
Maybe it's like a hobby.
I
We
think
will
we've just found
visit
out where we
the
should be
Vaclus.
buying things.
No,
Isn't it?
that's not fair. No, this Vaclus is putting people's lives at risk.
You have any more?
Or
to say?
livelihoods, I guess.
But isn't that the same for all merchants in one area? They're all competing. They can't all have all the business.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess so.
So he's hurting 6 or 7 merchants and helping hundreds of customers.
I don't mean to intervene, but there's something wrong with his prices. He's undercutting everyone, but I don't think his source is innocent.
That's what I'm saying. It can't be like He's got to be doing something dubious.
Toothy's like, they came off the back of a van, guys.
And we will look.
Yeah, they came off the back of a cart.
But first, we have more to sell.
Do you? What else did you want to sell?
Oh no! I think that's it.
Oh. Guys are very
I
indecisive.
think we're good. No, I know. The best groups are.
Right. Yeah, as you head on out, are you going...
So what is the tally now?
11 gold, 57 silver, 82 copper. It's amazing.
Are you heading to the gem store to sell the gems, or...?
Yes.
Do that.
Rika, did you actually put one of the candles of the deep in yours? Because I'll delete them both out of here then.
Do you
Yeah,
have one
delete
in
them
yours?
both.
I put it in mine because we.
Jack, hit save
I'll take
so
one
that
of
it's
them, yeah.
updated.
Yep, sorry.
Yeah, you guys might want to close and reopen before making any further edits. I think Jack's just made a few edits.
Okay.
The last person to save basically overwrites everybody else's.
Hmm. Sorry.
Okay, gem store.
Okay. You see a rather beautiful store called Jewels of Vazra. And it's got this sort of illusory gem that's slowly turning, and it's changing color as it's turning right at the front. It's quite beautiful, and it looks an expensive store. And, you'll note that at the door is a fairly large bugbear with a maul, or sort of a large warhammer, stood outside, and he gives you a gruff nod. You go to head in. And sitting on a stool behind the counter, staring through multiple lenses, is a small gnome. Oh, good day.
Good day.
You purchase
Hello.
it, or how might I be of assistance?
We have some goods for trade.
Oh, please. Yeah, I see them.
Show them in.
Oh, yeah. I reach into my bag and I bring out, they're probably wrapped in some sort of cloth.
What are
Your price. I hear your prices are fair.
I do try and make them so. Well, you'll see on the board here. This is their weight by carat. This is their purity, the cut, and he has all the prices like listed behind him. What are you selling him?
4 bloodstones, and I
Okay.
unveil them and
Each
put
one
them
of
onto
you
there.
just roll me a d100. See the quality of these bloodstones.
Hmm. Oh yeah.
Oh, that's a good one. It's a good one.
It's not that good.
Oh, look at that. 91, 89, 74, and 41. So he takes over the first gem and sort of looks at you. Wow, this is quite excellent. Decent weight. Marvelous. I'll give you 9 gold pieces for that. Places it on the table, and then he looks at the next one and sort of... Interesting. A couple of imperfections, though some people like those, you know. Anyway, sorry, I don't mean to be rambling. 7 for that. Looks at the third and sort of turns it over and... Unfortunate. A little bit of speckling really ruins the perfection of the gem, and it's not as heavy as it could be. I'll give you 4 for that. He looks at the last one and sort of... Oh, beautiful gem, but... Slight flaw here. It's been chipped. Such a shame. Been a perfect gem. I'll give you 8 gold pieces.
That's 28 in total.
Do those prices seem fair?
They're on the board behind him. So
okay.
unless he's lying to you about like the specific quality of the gem, which you have no real way of knowing.
No.
No, he's sort of got this price structure. That's his buying price, and immediately next to it, its selling price is literally the same price doubled.
Okay. Yeah. Cool.
So
Cool.
he's got a structured price scheme the jewels. Jewelry he will buy and sell at a haggling price, but gems themselves, he's very well known for just, these are the prices, that's how it is.
Yeah.
Well, Pietro is familiar with dealing with gnomes. They share the same sort of country as him. No, is it the gnomes and the Genasi that live in Urlana, or am I tripping?
No, it's Tabaxi.
Oh, it's the Tabaxi.
But you're next to Gazellen, and you would have done excavation work there.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, I trust the gnomes' prices. I'm not gonna complain.
All right.
Is there anything in the shop that does use the red crystal that we found, that we can see how it's put to use?
Yeah, so you'll see. I don't mean to do you dirty like this, but basically he's got counters of like beautiful jewelry, silver and gold and gems, and then he's got like a couple of cabinets up behind, and then sort of hanging off a sort of what looks like a wooden hat stand that turns the point, all these sort of like cheap jewelry for kids, basically. And it's basically it strings through the gems, through crystals mostly, or pebbles or stones. They seem to be sort of cut into pleasing-looking shapes, mostly smooth, like circles, or occasionally like a sort of even with a triangle, it's rounded edges, and they're polished to a sheen. But you'll note that you sort of see one of these little, the same red crystal you've got, just on a simple black dyed string. Is selling for 2 silver pieces. And you would note that with the lump of crystal you've got, you could probably make 60 of them if you had the time. So if you put in the work, you could easily make way more money, as opposed to selling the crystal, which should probably go for, a couple of silver pieces.
Sure. Yeah, I was looking around in the sense of learning more than anything.
Yeah, definitely. And you will see that there are sort of a few other pieces that sort of like, they look like bands that are very tight to the wrist that keep a crystal basically over your pulse. You'd know that like some people attribute like healing properties or mystical properties to those crystals. Though you know as well, Zekis, that there's certainly no magical properties.
Right.
Boxer, were you also selling any gems here? No?
No selling gems
You're
for
keeping
me.
hold of that. Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to be like Spyro.
I'm glad that you've got such an intriguing character property. He sort of looks at you, and you're new in town, are you not? We've not traded before. Are you treasure hunters? Dungeon delvers?
We can be.
Adventurers of sorts.
I see. Well and good. Wonderful. I look forward to doing business with you again.
Yeah, we saw the dragon.
Oh, indeed. You did. Well, the tales
after it was healed.
Draconomir is great and varied. Many adventurers groups went up and did what they could. I hear he's been cured, is that true?
Yeah, it's true.
Was it yourselves?
No. We saw him after. It was one of the dragon priests from the other city.
Wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Well, very well. Did you ever have any particularly unusual or interesting gems? Please do bring them by, even if you can't keep them. I do enjoy seeing strange and unusual pieces, and may even pay for the privilege if you'll let me sketch them.
Have you any magic pieces?
Many. Though mostly waiting to be put into pieces. I do have this, though. And he'll show you, he gets a special sort of lockbox out from underneath, and he shows you 10 perfect and beautiful pearls, ranging from black to pale white silver. Each one you know is a pearl of power, which could recharge a spell slot. This is one of my favourite collections. I'm not sure I'll ever sell any of them, to be honest. Many a time I've collected unusual gems just for the of having them, to be honest. Let's say, if you are venturing in Gallania, do have a map. I have no idea of the dangers of such a place, but it is said that dwarves of old, very old, ancient, I think they might have been Dwegar actually, once had a mine or perhaps even a city in this area of Gallania here. But as I said, I've got a map. I'm more than willing for you to copy it, if you proviso that if you find anything interesting, you bring it back.
Okay.
If the information is free, let's have a look.
Indeed. And he places it on the table, and it'll go through your cartographic earring into your world map to put that information on, so to speak. But I should be able to put a little marker on the map for you. Are you on the Gallania map here?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Little tiny blue cross here.
Oh, I see it.
Aha. Next to Janos. We had a reason to go down there, didn't we?
Yeah, that's where the bard song is.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he was on his way back from there, so it could be anywhere on that journey, but yes.
Yeah, he's on his way back from there, sorry.
We'll keep this in mind.
Never been able to work out what text is actually readable. This,
That's good.
you like this? This works?
Yeah, the black outline with the white. It's alright.
Oh.
Just set it to cycle. It just keeps changing.
Or even yellow. I don't think anything else on the map is yellow yet. Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, right there.
I don't know if you guys are behind me or not, but yeah, I think this is the one that Rico said.
Can you try yellow instead of white? Just. I mean, that's not terrible either.
It's weird, isn't it, how it becomes suddenly quite illegible quite quickly.
Yeah.
Just do that and make it larger. Or that makes it... How can it get more illegible the bigger it gets? That makes no sense at all.
No, just go back to that white one. It was good.
Yeah, that's white.
Ah! There we go. It's staying like that. You guys know what it says. You spent hours with it as it's changed. Yeah. No concept of how it gets more illegible the bigger it gets. But yeah. He'll sort of, well, you know, if you're ever happening by there. I've given this information to many adventurers, but most have not thought it worth the risk. For all I know, there's an ancient shadow dragon down there. But just do be careful. Come to think of it, every adventuring group I have given the information has never come back. I hope they didn't all go down. You don't think there's a correlation, do you? It must just be that adventurers groups pass through and don't come back to Vazra very often.
Maybe they just didn't find any gems.
Ah, yes, that must be it, indeed. Well, a pleasure doing business with you. Business is scarce at the moment.
We've heard of that.
Yeah.
Oh, other merchants feeling the same pressures.
We just spoke with Harrison of the general store.
Perhaps the most affected of us all. It's not natural, you know. He sells
What does
gems
that
for less
mean?
than I buy them for.
Yeah, see, guys, you can't do that. Like, that's not
Fact.
normal.
I have considered whether I should buy things from him to sell them from my own store. But then that doesn't make any sense because nobody comes to my store to buy them because they can buy them cheaper there, and then all I've done is waste my money. Can't afford to the overheads, you know. It would. No, I can't cut my prices that low. Luckily, I have some loyal customers, and some of the finer ones he can't get his hands on. But Harrison has been dreadfully affected.
Well, gems are a bit more distinct than broom handles and pickaxes and the sorts of things at the general store. Have any sense of where he's getting these things?
I've heard rumors, but I don't want to besmirch his good name.
Oh,
I want you to besmirch his good name.
Yes,
indulge us.
they say that the road to fortune will not succeed, but has led to some other people's fortune. Many of them went out with flyers and turned to other ways of gaining gold.
Huh?
You're being quite cryptic.
Well, only if you guys haven't made the connections. All the bandits you met on the road were holding those road to the future is your fortune.
Oh, the
flyers.
pamphlet.
Yeah, the pamphlets and flyers.
Oh, fuck.
It was Damian's racket primarily, but there are lots of bandit groups going on. And banditry hadn't really been a thing in Vazra during the war. It's only a recent thing. Perhaps the best thing you could do is speak to him directly. Nobody has actually challenged him on it, as far as I'm aware, apart from Harrison in the street. And well, he was quite cruel, if I say so.
How so?
He made numerous remarks about Harrison's height, and a few about his fascination with the simple items, as you might have said, broomsticks and the like. Harrison's a good merchant, and he's been a big part of the society of Vazra for many years. He deserves some respect.
If you think that he has dealing with banditry,
I said no such thing. I merely said that the road to fortune has benefited others more than others. Some more than others.
why haven't you told the authorities?
Without proof or evidence, it would just be accusation and slander.
Would
I do
they...
not slander one's name.
I get that. You need hard evidence.
But rumours and
You insinuated it.
economics and rumours do point towards.
That's all right. Leave it to us. We'll sort it out.
Wonderful. I look forward to it.
Yes, you're in desperate need of some people who don't mind being impolite when entire livelihoods are at stake.
Indeed. I suppose that is true. Thank you for the trade, and should you visit that mine, even if you find nothing, please come back and inform me.
Surely.
Yeah, we'll drop in.
Okay. Where are you guys headed?
We've bloody cashed up now.
Yeah, do you want the armor store?
Yeah, we should do that, and then I think we should save the Vaclus's store for the
After
last.
break. Yes.
Yeah.
You okay?
Yeah.
So you're headed to Hammer and
What's the name of the
Tongs.
store again? Oddities and something?
Yeah, it's Finest Wares and Oddities.
Finest wares and oddities. Okay.
Yeah, but you can head to Hammer and Tongs. And
Can't wait
it's literally got a hammer and a pair of tongs like crossed over the front. And inside you'll see a woman hard at work. She looks up and, oh, good afternoon. Well, I'll be with you in a moment. Carries on. She comes out the front. She says, sorry for the smoke. A bit late. What can I do for you?
Do you have some armor that I could use?
Well, indeed. I don't think we have anything for your size, but we can make you something, that's for sure.
It needs to be light, though.
Well, in that case, you need my partner in crime, but I can speak on her behalf for now. Yeah, my sister, she works with leather. Yes, I could get her to patch you up something. I might take your measurements. Indeed.
Is leather the only light material?
Indeed. We could perhaps fit it with some little bits of metal to make sure that you are the best protection possible, but studded leather and leather are the only light armors, yes. We do have some magical pieces, though they're very expensive.
That's okay, you can take my measurements.
So she'll measure you up, and then she'll tell you that it's 1 gold piece for leather, or 5 gold pieces for studded leather.
All right, the 5 gold for the studded.
Mhm.
Let's do it.
Are you sure? That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money, but mate, protection is nothing to joke about.
Well, you're like a walking children's book. Boxer meant that as a compliment. He didn't mean that. That's like a jab.
Oh, that's brilliant. And you were looking for armor for yourself as well, Vicky, is that right?
Yeah, I'll get a quote for both. Even though I don't think I'll be able to afford it, I'll get a quote for both chain and plate.
Yeah, just bear with me a second. I'm just looking to see if... Must be wearing some sort of... Oh, she's wearing hide right now. Okay. Oh, no.
What?
Well, you guys got away with murder today.
What's that?
Don't worry, I've just been doing something wrong. It's quite funny. I'll tell you all about it on the break. So you're looking at plate and chain, not splint. Unlike splint. It's the one in the middle of the two.
Oh yeah, and I'll get a quote for all three.
Okay.
But are we all happy with paying 5 gold for Boxo's for Boxo's studded leather?
What is our total again? It's like 20 something now gold.
39 gold.
Let's find out the final price and see if we can barter with this lady.
Okay, because we're gonna be buying.
5 gold pieces for ring mail for you, 10 gold pieces for chain, 25 for splint.
Okay, so I think
No plate here.
She
No
can
plate
quote you the
here.
plate if you want. It's 300 gold pieces.
yeah, 300. Yeah, there it is.
Do
Okay.
these prices sound reasonable?
Go ahead and give me an insight check with advantage.
That is +4, 16.
This is the cheapest armor you've ever heard of. It's almost too cheap.
Maybe they have shady dealings too.
Maybe she's just trying to deal with getting undercut constantly by next door.
True.
Maybe this guy's working in your advantage.
Okay, cool.
All right. Well, I wouldn't buy the 25 gold splint. I'd buy the 10 chain for myself, if that's all right.
For what it's
And a
worth, I will
bum
just
eyes.
quote you for medium armor class, medium armor as well. Mostly, I think it might benefit Rhea at some point. I think she can wear medium or heavy. So just so the prices are there when she
You can
looks
set
it
them
back.
aside for her.
Maybe she has already got armor. So
Yeah.
medium armor, the hide, although she's already got that, is 2 gold pieces. The chain shirt is 8 gold pieces. Scale mail is 10 gold. It's the other way round. Sorry, 8 gold pieces is scale. 10 gold pieces is chain shirt. What the fuck is spiked armor? I've never seen that before.
Spiked armor.
Yeah.
You have to be a dwarf. Or
Dwarf.
something.
Yeah,
You have
that's
to
a
be battle
dwarf
ranger.
battle ranger.
Dwarf, that's right.
Oh, okay. And then. Two gold pieces for hide.
I mean, I think Raywin has also a 0 dexterity modifier, so I don't know if it's gonna.
She's got a -1, so she should really be in heavy, not hide, but hide's what she's currently got.
So, I mean,
2 sets of
mechan-
chain
like,
might
I mean,
be
like,
worth doing.
yeah, 2 sets of chain might be worth our time 20 gold.
Okay.
Unless.
Yeah, her sheet says heavy.
She definitely gets heavy armor.
Does she have 13 strength though? Is the question.
No.
No.
Yeah, that's the tough one.
Ring it is, I guess.
Yeah, ring.
Let's put her
I mean,
up one.
Ring really only puts her up one. How much would what are the other?
I don't think it does only put her up one.
What the scale give her?
Ring mail
It'll
would
put her up 2.
quite a lot, I think.
It'd put her up 2.
It puts
Because
her
if she's
3.
wearing 3, what is she
Yeah.
wearing?
Well, she's currently wearing an armor class
Oh
12,
yeah,
but she's
because
got a
your dex
-1.
modifier. A minus
so it'll
1.
put her up to 16 instead of 13 armor class, yeah.
But then,
even
Alright,
just
we
for
need to
scale-
get.
Scale mail
we
would
need
also
to get
put her
her.
up to the same.
No, it won't, because she's got a -1.
No, because she has a minus.
Oh,
dex.
she has minus dex. Oh shit.
Yeah.
It's
I
really
was still
good
thinking that she had.
that-
I was still thinking she had 0. Okay. Sorry.
No,
No,
she
but she can at least
definitely
wear ring
needs
mail for
ring.
now. I mean, it's only going to cost you 5 gold pieces, which is great. And Kezia will sort of look at you and, if down the line she builds a bulk up and is a friend of yours and she wants to come in, we do trade in prices. I can always remelt down the metal and use it again.
Oh, that would be fantastic.
If you have any armor that you were looking to buy, and
Excellent.
she looks at you, Toothy, are you currently wearing any armor? Did you want to sell her any armor to...
Nah, I gotta hide.
Yeah, she'll give you a silver piece for it.
Take it.
Oh yeah, I'll take a silver.
Yeah.
And then
She'll give you a silver,
and
and then,
then,
if you guys want to spend, what is that? 20 gold pieces in total, that'll give you
Yeah.
chain shirt, studded leather, and ring mail for Freya. Hard time to be a cleric, isn't it? When you've got to
Yeah.
have the strength and the con and the wisdom.
Really?
are we all in agreement on Boxo getting the studded leather? Because I think him being sometimes in melee, it's important.
Yeah.
It's also something you're not going to have to upgrade for so long.
Right.
Yeah.
Top
So
tier.
okay, so Boxo, so that's
Next
5,
up, we find a magic
5,
set
10,
of leather armor.
and
20 and 10.
it's 20 in total. Okay,
So
so
you get
that
chain.
brings us down. Yeah, that brings us down to 19 gold.
Whoa, you've still got 19 gold left?
Sizable amount of
Yeah.
gold, man.
That's pretty crazy. I'm not really sure how that... Well, I know one way of how that occurred, but we won't talk about that.
It's because you messed up.
Yeah. So we'll be right back. So, you had ordered your armor from Kezia. Sorry, the one thing I didn't tell you was how long it was going to take. I don't know if this will make a change to your decisions. The ring mail and chain mail will take 3 days. The studded leather will take 1 day. She will only collect your hide armor on collection.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So yeah, I mean, you can do things in and around the city for 3 days, or you can head out and come back, or whatever, really.
And the studded is ready tomorrow.
That's
basically.
correct.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, she will say tomorrow afternoon, because it's already 5 o'clock, right? But it doesn't take long, and also it's a smaller piece of armor than the rest, because Boxo's a smaller piece of person.
Does that mean it was cheaper?
It did mean it was cheaper, yes.
How tall is Boxo again? Like 3 feet?
He's like 3 foot, I think.
At most, kobolds are small.
Yeah.
Cool. So you were headed to the magic store, or to the alchemists, or to the other magic store, or to Vaclis? What's the plan?
Let's go to the magic
Ooh.
store.
Yeah, magic store.
I have a track for this.
Magic store. Magic store.
You see a store that sort of, it's got almost, it's almost gaudy, and it's got these sort of trinkets hanging down outside the window. There's dream catchers and strange spinning crystal balls, and on the front it says magical mystery.
If we may, I'd like to look at this store.
Of course.
Yeah, of course.
I will ask you very nicely not to comment on fingers, because I think the art's super cool, but there are some finger problems. Anyway, so as you enter in, there's a sort of ding. You see a man sort of standing quite tall, long grey beard, beautiful sort of purple hat and robes. Sort of looks over at you. Ah, welcome. See, you've come to purvey the mysterious. Discover that it is undiscoverable, unimaginable. Learn that the impossible is indeed possible. Now, tell me, how can I delight your imagination? Your horizon.
If I may just peruse your goods for a moment.
Indeed. And yet, how will you peruse them without understanding? Allow me to elaborate upon my elevated wares.
Are they not labelled?
No, a lot of them are sort of just strange-looking, weird things.
Well, no wonder people are going to different stores.
So there's just a cube that is slowly squelching and getting smaller and bigger on the shelf. Is everything all right, Rico?
Yeah, everything's good. Sorry.
That was a pace.
Bye.
A strange cube is just getting larger and smaller. 2 orbs are circling round randomly up in the air. There is a bottle whose smoke is endlessly oozing. There is what appears to be a small orange cube that might be made of carrot. You're not entirely sure. There is a spyglass on top, sort of jauntily on top of a magnifying glass with a strange golden rod with a single red gem on the top. And all 3 of those are sort of chucked over an awkward piece of black material. 16 different medallions of slightly different color hang behind him. There's a pair of sort of manacles just literally dangling off the shelf. A large black crystal is placed next to a ring that is in a beautiful jewelry box and shines brightly even in this area. There is a boat hanging off the wall that looks like it could be folded. And a goat made of the purest ivory sits upon the table. But he will tell you I sell scrolls and all things magical if you're looking to learn a spell or 2 or simply cast them from my papers. I have many scrolls. I also have bags for carrying, bags for heating, bags for cooling, and many magical items besides. Perhaps I could interest you in some of these strange wares. I'm just going to smack those. Oh, I did not expect you to do it quite like that. Ignore that. I'll put them in his hat. And that's what I was expecting. He will tell you I've also got the finest wares from the manufactory. Their most recent stock is available to me. So anything that you might find interesting is, well, it's right here. I think if I re-click show to players, you should be able to see. Does that work for you guys? Can you see all the things?
I might have to reopen this. And
it obviously changed because the window got big and has a big scroll bar, but they're like invisible
blank,
or something.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's just like yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
you can scroll down.
Let's fix that then. That's annoying. Okay, I'll do that again.
There we go.
Yeah.
It's a shame. It was in a beautiful little table, but it wasn't rendering. Yes, there's a bunch of those things. I will tell you very quickly, most stuff in here is currently out of your price range.
Even the tool belt?
So, the list going down to probably boots of elven kind, maybe a little lower, is manageable. Everything below that is 10 gold or more.
Yeah.
But yes, you can afford like the tool belt, for example. I don't think you need another one of those, Rico.
Oh, I don't think I have one.
No, I meant you have one on Oleg, and you had one on. Do you need one on this character as well?
It came up, didn't it? Somewhere.
Let
Yeah,
me
like
see
if
if
you
I
have
can
tool
remember what it
belt.
does. Not an all-purpose tool. It is a tool belt. I don't remember what it does.
I suppose it's not out of the question we might again find ourselves somewhere with some danger of exploding. So perhaps one of these light-emitting devices. I wonder if they're portable.
We did something else.
No. Well, technically, it does allow you to. No, it just does that. No, it's a different item.
But yeah, I'm down with that. How much?
That particular item is 2 silver pieces.
No, not the belt. Velzekis had mentioned.
Oh, amulets of light and drift clubs, I think, are the things I see that would do light.
An amulet of light
Probably cheaper.
is 10 gold. A drift globe. Did I put a drift globe? It's 250.
Yeah.
Ooh.
How much are the gloves of swimming and climbing?
I feel like them's gonna be
Are
expensive.
they down below the boots of elvenkind? Because if so, it's all way out of the price range. Like, let me just here's the prices of the bottom stuff.
Does that sound reasonable?
No, it doesn't. Give me an insight check with advantage.
An 18.
Yeah, you get the impression that these prices are higher than they perhaps should be. But you also notice that he only seems to have one of any given thing in his store.
Mm.
So apart from like the abacus or the spellbook or
collector.
the collapsing,
So maybe
So,
that's why.
lots of them are quite unique. You might not
Yep.
be able to find gloves of swimming and whatever the other thing was, climbing anywhere else, right? Drift
Yeah.
globes. You've got to remember, this is not something that will have been created multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We're not in an artifice as well. But the amulet of light, for example, even those prices may be a little on the higher side.
Well, I see he has manufactory ring too, and there are 3 different ones of those. I don't know if he has the light one or not.
Yes, he does. The manufactory stuff is cheaper.
Right. So
So a
Well, it might
manufacturing ring, all 3 of them are 5 gold pieces each.
doesn't have to be today, but I will need a solution for that before we do too much more dungeon delving.
Spelunking, yeah. Your wares are very fine, perhaps too fine for our tastes. But
Well, indeed.
you mentioned
Times are
the
challenging.
spell scrolls. I am a learned wizard.
Excellent. I'll be more than glad to share with you various spells. Yes.
Petra, the things here are overpriced.
Yes, I know.
Overpriced or just differently? Most of what
They're
I
the
have
same
are
thing.
collector's wares. But truth be told, I've fallen on hard times recently and can't really afford to sell anything any cheaper.
But even a spell scrolls.
Luckily, I'm not challenged to the price of those, so indeed, spell scrolls I can sell at a fair price. Everything else I've had to bump up a little bit.
You said that you can't afford to sell them for cheaper, but can you afford to sell them at these prices when people can't buy them?
Indeed, the unique pieces I have managed to make a few sells on recently, and it's all that's keeping me afloat right now.
Your business has been hampered by this Vacalis.
Goodness me, no. He doesn't sell anything of the sort that could compete with me. No, I had a break-in not that long ago. Simplest of my wares is what they stole. That was what was keeping me afloat day to day. I sell spell components and arcane focuses, and I own arcane focuses to people's individual casters. I stored all of that stock in a separate outhouse out the back. Somebody took the lot. Left me there destitute. I'm
Do you have any enemies?
trying to recover. I didn't think so. No, not the only store to have been broken into either. That implies to me that perhaps it was not a personal thing, merely opportunistic new thief. Thing is since the death of the Emperor, crime has been rife, and political situation, nobody's really solving it.
What is the political situation? I never thought about that.
Well, you've got the Chancellor, who's been left in charge, but a lot of people feel that as he's not a Dragonborn, it shouldn't be his power over Vazra. Besides, normally it would go to the hereditary son of the Emperor, and who is a Dragonborn. That's the second party, and the third party is the party for war, who wanted to return to the war. In essence, you've got one party who want the war to resume, one party that want to continue the strict and vicious ways of the Emperor, but without the war, and allow the line to fall to his son, and there are others, like myself, who see the Chancellor as progress. He wants to keep the welfare and the good things that the Emperor brought about, but with a bit of kindness and a bit of honesty and genuineness, and even perhaps leading to Janos and Tamrakas having their rightful lords reinstated.
Wow.
There is also a fourth party who are, well, we call them the anarchists, but they call themselves the Allies for Abdication, who say that the Emperor and the Chancellor and his sons should give up the land to the people, and we should have a democratic vote for a lord. It seems a ridiculous concept to me. Sorry, you didn't ask her politics. Well, you kind of did, actually, but... Yes, I had a break-in. That's why my price is a little higher at the moment. I'm sorry if that offends you, young kobold. Frankly, until I can retrieve those wares or get myself back on parity, I only have much other choice. It does, well, I hope you won't take this personally. He looks to you, Tooth and Claw. But, your appearance has, made me note something about the thief. There was fur. You shed fur as you move about?
I mean, a little. Most of the time I'd take care of it myself.
Or perhaps the thief is an ill-kept tabaxi. Hadn't really noticed until I saw your glorious mane, if I might compliment you on it.
Oh, thank you. But back to talking about this thief. There was fur.
Yes, there was fur.
What kind of fur?
Room.
Was it similar to mine?
Still there. You can take a look if you like.
Oh, yeah. Love to.
Please, come on through and... Prithee you keep my deceptions up, please. And you might not understand what he means until he leads you through, and you'll see that, like, looking straight up, there's basically a bunch of torches, other, like, light-giving out devices that have been angled to make the items hanging outside look magical, when instead it's just a light show, basically. He sort of... That aside, come on through, and he'll show you into basically... Outside, he's got a separate small building that looks a bit like an outhouse. And you'll note that it had a sort of heavy oaken door that has obviously been picked. The lock has been picked. And he'll show you that the lock is kind of useless now. And indeed, you just see empty shelves, but you can give me an investigation check, all of you. Or you may elect one person and give them advantage, your choice. Okay, we've gone for it. We've just gone for it.
Sorry.
16.
Pietro, I would like to nominate myself. Here is my 25. I don't think anybody can possibly roll that high. You can roll for nat 20 if you want, guys, but that is pretty ridiculous. Let me just change the music to something a little more Hey, that is so not the puzzle music I was expecting. Get out of here, puzzle music. Not the puzzle music. Pietro, as you take a look around, indeed, you will see different bits of fur. It is grey and white, not the sort of golden kind of colour of Goofy's fine mane. But you will note that it definitely seems to be like tabaxi fur.
Like tabaxi fur? Is the texture similar?
Yes. It's sort of like a long-haired cat, if you will.
Does it smell?
Ooh. Give me a perception check for smell. Earth Genesi is particularly good at sniffing things.
No. Yeah, I have a shot taste of smell because I'm an Earth Genasi. And I chew on rocks for like fun.
You eat asbestos.
What was your perception check?
A 4.
Oh, great. No, not really. It didn't smell much of anything.
Indeed. There is fur in here.
You do find a couple of other little hints, though. First of all, Pietro, you notice a tiny little bit of what looks to be grey stone. But as you look at this, you will know that it's a spell-casting component. Potentially for a spell of sort of a Misty Step or Blink or something like that. Some sort of teleportation. Not for the teleportation of people, though, but for the teleportation of the items inside.
Ooh.
It's sort of some sort of special ritual spell or something that managed to get all the goods in here out very quickly. And the second marking might show you the type of caster, as you see a tiny little mark that looks like a scorch mark that smells of sulfur and brimstone. Give me a religion check, and Aps Velzekis, you could give me a charisma arcana check.
All right.
Oh. Bloody hell, Pietro.
Well, let's see.
What a dice!
What a competent fellow. Somehow.
So that'll be only a 9.
Okay. So Pietro, this the sulfur specifically, but the brimstone as well. It's not a naturally occurring substance in these sorts of areas. You'd normally associate it with volcanoes or deep underground, but more specifically, you have seen the results of summoned demons or devils, and that is the sort of mark and smell they often give off. And even with a 9, Velzekis will confirm that there's often that sort of smell around the summoning of otherworldly creatures. TLDR, you might be looking for a tabaxi with a demon following them. Of some sort. I'm sure you guys can piece it together from there.
Yeah. A warlock, perhaps?
Possible.
This is the work of a professional.
Well, is that reassuring or not?
It means finding him won't be easy.
Well, frankly, he can keep himself to himself or herself themselves. I don't really care. I just want the wares.
You said before that this fellow's been undercutting everyone, hasn't been undercutting you because he doesn't sell your sort of things. That hasn't changed recently, has it?
No, that would be a satisfying answer, wouldn't it? No, unfortunately not. He sells nothing particularly magical. I don't think he's got the understanding to do so. Perhaps a couple of very minor trinkets, but nothing else.
Didn't you say that other stores got robbed as well?
Just one other store, in fact. A compatriot, and perhaps in some ways a rival, I guess. Beyond the veil. little down the road. Also broken into. Guys, I put out a handout just there that says thief. I put very few notes. If you want to put any notes about this finding the thief into that section, that quest, you guys should be able to edit it freely if you wish, so that you can keep all your notes about that quest in one place. Anybody oh yeah, that's the other thing. I was about to ask you what the other quest is you got today, and you've literally just mentioned him. What's his name? Vakthis? Vaklis. Sorry. Yes, Beyond the Veil, also broken into. And much the same, spell components and a few other cheaper and simpler things were stolen.
Interesting.
Well, what are the components used for?
Well, here, the spell components used for all sorts of spells and various different rituals and... well, I mean, your friend here is a learned wizard. He can tell you the value of, things as simple as a copper wire or fossilized piece of
If one does not carry an arcane focus, then they must rely on materials to conjure their magics. And in fact, some spells require a material component, nonetheless.
But then what spells require the components that we're missing?
No, they took everything. All the spell components. I had a selection.
Hundreds.
Oh, sorry.
Hundreds, my dear Boxo.
Yes, and not only that, I had materials for making arcane focuses and attuning them to people. And all of that gone as well.
How odd.
It was the staple of my business.
Well, what do you do with a bunch of materials?
Set up your own store somewhere else, I would guess. Rico, you asked about spell scrolls about 25 hours ago. It's a very simple system. It is 3. I might be able to just copy these. No, I
Is it
can't.
just like a price
6,
tier
8.
as per the level?
Yeah, I'm assuming you don't care about anything over 4th level.
No. I just was able to cast 2nd level spells.
Yeah. Those prices start with cantrips, by the way. So a cantrip scroll is 2 silver pieces, and then 3, 6, 8, 14, 20 gold.
Either that's crazy expensive or we're just crazy broke.
Yeah, scrolls are usually quite expensive.
Really? Goodness.
I mean, because I can imagine it being almost brokenly cheap in a little while, right? I mean, like, once you start having a lot of money, like...
Yeah, I mean, obviously we've got... So you've got to remember everything's divided by 10 in this world, but in a normal campaign, 20, 30 gold per spell is quite manageable. Like, if you then want to... You've got to remember I've got to price in a way that he can't just come back and buy every spell that has ever existed, because I'm not restricting the availability here.
Right.
There may be a few spells at higher levels that are a bit rarer. There are 3 spells, however, that are way cheaper if you don't already have them. They're all 1st level spells, and they are Mage Armor.
I have that.
Yeah, I have a feeling you might have all of these. And Shield and Magic Missile.
Yeah. Well, I don't have.
He sells them as a combined starter package for 1 gold piece.
Oh wow.
The budding mage.
No, that's not worth it for me. I'll take actually.
Sorry, just to clarify, Joe, did you buy the Ring of Light?
No.
Okay.
I don't have the money, and it seemed like we were maybe
Well,
going
you
to
do have the gold overall, but yes,
Yeah.
the manufacturing one. But obviously, if you can solve his problems, the prices will drop. See,
Right.
If I may purchase 2 cantrip scrolls, Firebolt, and Mind Sliver.
you know you can't learn cantrips, right?
I can't
Yeah, you
learn
can.
them.
No.
Oh,
No, you
I
just get
see.
1
That's
casting of
just
Firebolt.
use. I can't learn them.
That's why they're
Oh,
so
true.
cheap, Rico. You can only cast them, you cannot learn them. No, that'd be fucking sick, wouldn't it? Wizards would be everybody would be a wizard, mate. Joke for every occasion.
Oh. Invisibility? Second level spell, 6 gold?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Anyone have any thoughts? Help me out here.
Invisibility combined with
Anything
you
that
sneaking
might be
up, sneaking up to someone, and then bopping them on the head with your ability to knock them on their ass.
How much gold do you guys currently have collectively? 20 or
19.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe see if he has a spell where you can locate someone using their hair that they left behind when they were stealing things.
That is exactly one of the components for locate creature, by the way, Josh, so you're not crazy off the mark.
Mm-hmm. But locate creature is...
A reminder that anybody can cast from a scroll.
Yeah. Well, why hasn't this guy done it?
Because he's a charlatan.
That's 4th level.
I think object is only second, so potentially, but if the components are probably not terribly unique.
Locate object?
I think it's plant and animal, that's 2. I think object
you
might
might be
be
right.
higher.
Locate creature is a 4th level spell, but it does say a creature that is familiar to you. I would say that you could make an attempt with having the hair of the creature. I think there's also scrying might do something like that. Is that the one that...
Why don't you create a spell? Show your wizardly talents to create your own spell.
Indeed.
Yeah, scrying, if you have a body part, lock of hair, bit of nail, or the like, their save is lowered, but you still have to... Oh no, just you see in her particular creature you on the same plane of existence. So yeah, that. But he will point out, I dabble in spells. For the most part, I'm a purveyor of wares. I failed an attempt, made a large loss, and even if I locate the person, what would I do with that information? Perhaps if they're close enough, I could tell the authorities, although given that they have no idea who should be directing them right now, it seems to take them forever to get anything done. I reported the actual crime, and nobody's come to inspect the room yet. In fact, you're the first people to look at it, crime scene.
Well, we can definitely try to do something about it.
Oh, okay. I know what I want. Just a level 1 spell scroll of detect magic. I actually don't have detect magic.
Indeed.
Okay, yeah.
He will procure you one. Good enough.
3
Are
gold.
you writing it into your own spell?
I am.
Seeing as you've been so helpful and kind, here. And he will hand you a small bottle of ink for scribing magical scrolls. Giving you an extra, I think it's 6 uses per bottle. Because we don't charge you per spell.
My bottle is almost done.
Yeah. We don't charge you per spell, right?
It just makes me so jealous. I'm a wizard in a different group, and I fucking haven't been able to write a thing in like a year and a half because I can't find the paper. DM's
Can't
crazy.
find
Anyway.
any paper?
We took a thing we weren't going to do because I was like, this is to help the local enchanter who sells fucking spell stuff, but his store is closed right now. One reason I haven't been able to get things, but we found out he needs help off in something. Oh, we'll run there and we'll help him quick so I can finally buy some damn stuff. And we go there and we're like into a crazy happy fun ball thing where we're like in multiple other dimensions of security system in this goddamn tower. It's maddening.
I don't understand why you need paper. If you've got a spell scroll in your hand, the paper's not what you need. You've got a spell book.
Well, that's what it said. It's the inks and papers is the whatever.
Yeah, but alas, if you have the ink, which you have been given now, you already have the spell book. And he will sort of I recommend you getting an enduring spell book as and when you can. Keeps the weather away, amongst other things.
Is that so?
Indeed, very protected. Costs you less to write things in as well.
How much is this book?
How much is this book? I have quoted.
Stu's trying to sell insurance.
Yeah, pretty much. He does have an enduring spellbook. I know he does.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw it.
I saw it.
I see spell. Oh, there we go. Oh, look at that! Isn't that beautiful? It is exactly 1 gold piece.
Oh yeah, get it.
God, I haven't. For
It'll
what it's
round
worth,
us out to 15 gold.
your ink will conscribe 10 spells in instead of 6 if you have an enduring spellbook, so you'll probably get your money back pretty quickly.
Give me the damn book.
Would you like it with the red leather cover or the brown leather cover?
Brown.
Excellent. He hands it over. And, well, I must say it's a pleasure doing business. Been a little quiet in the last couple of days. You should check in with Ashleen at Beyond the Veil if you're seeking this thief. From what I understand,
Yeah,
she thinks
we
she
will.
might have caught a glimpse of him.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
On chance.
All right.
Waves to you with all 6 fingers.
He actually
Sends
just
you
has
a-
a double pinky is what it is. It's
Such a good piece of art, though. Like, I really couldn't. I
just a
couldn't
hat.
not. I do this because I can show stream. Yeah, I couldn't restrict it. Like, just because he was lacking a finger. Like, it's great.
So
It's
good.
like
He definitely
absolute-
wasn't lacking
and,
any
and,
fingers.
and the whole like the store as well in the background, and like it's very much everything I wanted for him. So his extra finger.
His one eyebrow is so long that it's covering the other side of his face. Oh, never mind. I'm tripping.
That's his hair, Rico.
Yeah,
Sure.
But if that was his
I just
eyebrow,
knew
that
that.
would be fabulous, and I would have used it even more. Anyway, so you are headed on to. Oh, why are we over here? Why are we on this map? Get back to Vazra. Where are you headed to? Are we headed to Vacnus? Are we headed to an apothecary? Do you want to go to Beyond the Veil?
I was gonna say, do we want to investigate this other magic shop where this
Yes.
potential thief has been? Yeah, let's go.
You can head over to a very strange store. The entire front of the store seems fogged up. Bear with me a sec. Yeah,
Is this place open?
the entire sort of front of it seems fogged up, and it just sort of floating almost in front of the in front of the store are these sort of coils of smoke spiraling up. You see this sort of glittery silver writing that says "Beyond the Veil." As you get closer, there's sort of a rich smell of spiced incense.
Mm.
The door is closed, though the sign does imply that the store is open.
I will reach for the handle.
Sorry, I'm just going to pop that there as well, so you guys know you have that quest. Yeah, as you sort of reach for the handle, the door opens almost effortlessly. And inside, you will see a woman. The entire store still has this sort of smoke going on. She's wearing this sort of broad-brimmed hat. And she seems to be casting a spell as you come in. She's in the process of a ritual. She gestures to you with a hand to ask you to wait a moment. And I'll take an Arcana check with your spellcasting modifier from anybody who can cast spells. Belzekis and Pietro. I don't think the paladin.
Ooh.
How? Why don't these rolls come out during combat?
So this is accurate, even though it's the wrong stat. 12.
Yeah. So watching you sort of see a bit of focus going on, and she seems to be casting a ritual, and immediately you'll know that it is sort of a more divine magic spell. I don't know why this isn't doing it, but I've broken everything. Oh, go do a thing. And she seems to be attempting to contact the divines, speak with the divines, something like that. You would know that it is probably divination.
I will leave her to it.
After a couple of minutes, she stops and looks over at you. Ah, welcome. Sorry about that. Thought that I was mostly done for the day. Can I help you?
Well, we've come up to peruse your goods, but also we've spoken with one of your competitors, D'Souza.
It is rare that our veils cross, but it does happen. I don't so much have wares, so to speak, as I do services.
And yet something worth stealing because you've been burgled, we understand.
Indeed. Mostly the necessary components to the rituals I got. A fairly large amount of simple things. Incense, candles, things for the casting of ritual. Single crystal ball.
Have you conducted a thorough investigation of the crime scene?
She gestures around the store. I came in the middle of the night. I woke. Rushing downstairs. Caught two dark red gleaming eyes before the creature went invisible. Looked like an imp to me.
Small creature, then.
Indeed, though. I believe it might have been somebody's.
Might you have found some hair on the premises?
Yeah.
Fur, to be exact.
Think it a furry imp?
Perhaps its master.
Oh, you have closest to its master, I see. No. Actually, although you mention it, there was a little bit of a faint smell when I first came down.
Brimstone.
No, a little like wet fur. It was raining that night. Perhaps a new question to ask. I've been attempting to divine the nature of the person, and all I have found out so far is I believe they're on a boat. Not very useful information. We live in a port city.
And perhaps they're long gone by now.
The boat didn't seem to be moving. That's I don't know where it's docked.
Pietro will note that.
I'm sorry, did you come to purchase wares, did you say? Mostly I sell services, though I do have a few pieces of magical wares.
Expensive, no doubt.
Mostly, yeah. I don't have many specific things. She will gesture towards a ring, which is a ring of free movement. Reactions, I think it's called, and a second one, which is a ring of protection. She also has single silver rings and then a line of gems next to them, and she can create a ring of resistance. Any sort you might like. She has a couple of staves, a staff of defense, and a staff of healing. and a couple of simple wondrous items. She also has a couple of single-use wands, so I don't mean like they only have one use, but once they're run down, they don't recharge. And she has those for cure wounds, Vessel restoration. There are 3 other items she has. She has an alchemy jug. She has one of those periapts. I think it's wound closure or it's the disease one. It's not
poison. Yeah,
it's the one that made health.
Poison.
I think it is.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Periapt of health. And the periapt of wound closure. Sorry, she does have both.
So she does have quite a bit, this lady.
Well, yeah, it's sort of 7 or 8. I think that's like 12 or 15 goods overall.
What is she charging for the staff of healing? I'm curious for Raywin.
I don't know if that's Raywin's shtick. I think she quite likes hitting people with things, but I will get you.
You can hit someone with a staff, as good as you could hit someone with a mace.
I need to look at the prices.
Or hand axe.
Go, we just put an axe on the end of their staff of healing.
Exactly.
An axe head.
An axe of healing.
A long axe of healing. A halberd of healing.
Yeah, halberd of healing.
Oh, that would
be a Dane axe of healing.
She will charge you 1,200 gold pieces.
Yowza. I thought so. Fair.
They're pretty strong items.
Of course.
They are.
Just why I wasn't. I didn't have the prices to hand because they're in the.
Even the rings. Even the rings, I think, are probably in the hundreds. So I don't.
Oh,
know.
The rings are more expensive, I think. And not the resistance rings, but the rings of protection. So,
yeah.
The only thing perhaps within your grasp would be the periapt of health. This is. That is 55 gold pieces. It's expensive, but as she says, most of what she'll say, but mostly I provide remedies, cures, and miracle patients should you need to. Dead.
I see. I was wondering what sort of services you had other than inconclusive divination.
Yes, divination is one of the hardest arts. It's frankly frustrating. I don't tend to offer it to many customers for that reason. It's obviously something I do for myself, but I can augur the fates if I must. But simple things such as the removal of curses, the closure of will, speaking with the dead is the most commonly requested. People bring the ashes or the speak with them. In fact, oh dear, I'm almost late. I have an appointment with a friend. One of the taverns in town is reportedly. She's just purchased it, but there's a poltergeist in the attic.
Oh.
You've seen The Adventurous. I was going to see if I could speak with it and calm it, but with poltergeists, there's usually a bit of fighting first. You'd like to earn a point or two. This name is better.
Always.
It'd probably involve you getting things thrown at you a lot.
I've had worse.
Ghost.
What do you say?
Yeah, if you're willing, I could pay you 5 or 6 gold pieces. In addition, my compatriot at the tavern would be most grateful. She might even let you stay there for free.
I mean, if you were going to attempt yourself something that you think we all need to help with, I'm almost more curious to see you try it alone, but I suppose we could help.
My plan was to speak through a closed door and but that it might be amenable. If we do have to go in and try and quell it forcefully, I would have had to post for assistance. Or just saving me that step and allowing me to have both means covered, but I'll pay you either way. Does anybody think they might know things about the undead or ghosts or anything like that? Has anybody got the specific?
Unless it's like a ghost of a wizard. No, we may have had somebody, but they're currently chilling at their temple.
I'm just looking and seeing. Oh, you won't want to go there without Raywin. You'll have to collect her tomorrow. Well, maybe not. Maybe. No, you'll need Raywin for this.
Yeah.
But she, you could always grab her and take her, and vice versa. We're going to be in next week before we actually do anything.
Sure.
I'm just checking. She doesn't seem to have anything specific to do with the undead. So yeah, you'll have to take this clerk's word on it that a poltergeist is something you can manage.
Mm-hmm.
Pietro, is this where we try to not show our hand in the amount of gold sheet offered?
I suppose we could ask for more, but no, that's not this is not the situation in which...
Yeah, I didn't think so. I was just wanting to make sure. I still don't understand how it works.
It has to do with cards, playing cards.
I don't know what that means.
Later.
I've got a few preparations to make. In the meantime, you might find here, you look strong, and she points towards you, Toothy. If you would carry this, and she'll sort of gesture towards a huge, what looks like a paint bucket, but inside is like a blue powder. It's like a painty powder. Good for spotting invisible things.
Oh, okay. That's clever.
Your tricks of the trade are a bit simple.
Do you have a lid?
Yes, the lid's right next to it. Just pop it on. The tavern, it's currently got a blank sign outside with the beginnings of the painting of a cup. It's on 4th Street, down the end, on the right. If you want to head there in your own time, as I said, a few preparations to make, and then I'll lock up the shop and I'll meet you there. An hour or two.
Things to do as well.
Certainly.
You're currently opposite Vaclus's new shop, so I don't know if you wanted to head there before we end session.
Might as well.
Sure.
See what this guy's all about.
I've really got to organize these ambiances at some point. There's just so many of them, and I put them all in together. So I could be looking for something, and I've got a tinkerer's workshop, and then an underground mushroom forest right next to each other. So looking for the thing I'm actually looking for is really hard. I don't think this is what I wanted.
In Tabaxi, Nip is called a Yada Madahu.
Yeah, you can head over to Vaclus's, and you find him in a sort of, there's a beautiful gold scroll across an old wooden facade at the top. Inside is a fairly plain-looking man with a long beard. He's not currently wearing his wares. That is his traveling picture, because you could easily have met him traveling, but you didn't. You come in, he said, welcome. What can I do for you?
Are you Vaclus?
Vaclus is I. Yes, Vaclus. You look like adventurers to me. Are you looking to purchase some wares?
Perhaps.
We've certainly heard you have the best prices.
That we do. Cheaper than anyone else in Vazra. That's a guarantee.
How do you guarantee that?
Well, it's quite simple. If I see somebody else selling for cheaper, I simply make my prices lower.
Surely you're taking a loss on certain items.
You might think so. Yes.
Do
It's
you-
worth
do
it for the
you-
business.
Do you have any gloves of climbing and swimming?
I don't know what those are. We don't tend to have many magical goods here. Just the simple wares that you could need for your everyday adventuring. You know, I've got ball bearings and caltrops and blankets and bells and bedrolls and backpacks and bags of sand and chalk and chests and crowbars and dice and dragon chest sets and fishing tackle and hunting traps and bear traps and, you know, all the other sorts of things you might need. I've got ropes and shovels and signal whistles and soap and string and tents and water skins and, you know, and he sort of gestures all the way around the store as he points to all these different wares. And you'll see prices hanging off them that are just ridiculously cheap. Like, it's a couple of copper shards for some stuff, you know, it's like...
Alright, calm down, Doctor. Boxo, we said, you know what we're here for.
Oh, you have something specific in mind? Perhaps a block and tackle, or a lock, or a shackle?
Some people think that you're getting these things in a criminal way.
Oh, do they? Do I look like a criminal to you, young Connell? What? Am I a thief crawling rooftops?
What does a criminal look like to you?
Am I a bandit on the road with a... Well, look at me. I'm an aged man. I can't be doing such a thing. Truth be told, I used to make my money following the army. And selling them wares. Swords and daggers and crowbars and the like, and all sorts else for their venturing and soldiering needs. But, well, since the army's no longer in the wars at a loss, we have to find our business other ways. So, use the contacts I made, and, well, and now I sell the finest wares and other oddities. As you can see. No. Is it criminal to be accessible to all customers?
Can Pietro be having like a look around the shop
Mm-hmm.
while he's speaking? I sort of want to
specific.
I'm just looking to see the quality of the items.
Yeah.
And like they're like, you know, just like complete shit, and that's how he's able to undercut everybody. He's just selling people like, you know, garbage.
Give me an investigation check.
Fuck me, man.
Holy shit.
So yeah, you can see that a lot of these goods are quite good, quite high quality, but almost everything is repurposed or reused or resold. Nothing seems brand new.
It's just a second-hand shop.
Well, that's quite usual. Like the other general wares store you were in buys and sells goods, but you will see that some of these have like nicks and cuts and, you know, almost bruises. But he has quite lovingly attempted to restore everything to as good a quality as possible. You can see everything's been recently varnished or painted or polished.
Any sign of those pamphlets, by the way?
No. No, that would be ridiculously easy. But give me 1 second. I need to go to the bathroom.
Now that DM's not here, let's beat the information out of him.
Just like slam this guy on the table.
Who's
your source?
Yeah.
Well, I do have intimidation as a proficiency. I just haven't been doing it much.
That makes sense.
I can push this guy a little bit. We'll see. I don't know that he is a sweet old man.
Well, I want to get like a list of shit up because I kind of want to like figure out like what should I look around at, because I kind of want to just like ask him repeatedly like, where'd you get this? Where'd you get this? Where'd you get this? See if he can make up a stupid tale for every single thing that he picked up.
No pamphlets.
James, you said that, or maybe I'm misremembering. Did you say that banditry only started after the Emperor died?
Certainly in the... Okay, so just a reminder that Vazra refers to two things. First of all, the city. Are you guys on the world map with me?
No.
No.
Let me get you there. Gallania. So Vazra refers to two things. First of all, it refers to the city itself, but it also refers to the city-state, which traditionally held like this kind of space, right?
Okay.
So during the Emperor's time, especially when it was expanded to, sort of much wider space, the policing of the roads was incredibly careful and redone, and there was so much work available that there was almost no banditry at all in the region of Vazra. Whereas now in literally the last sort of month,
A little more lawless.
it's become sort of rough. It's a sudden surge, a huge amount of banditry, and a total dip in the amount of guards policing the roads.
So it's not such a stretch then to think that his contacts that he used to sell stuff to during the war are now bandits, and they're still the same contacts.
That wouldn't be a stretch in the slightest.
I'll whisper that to Toothy.
I whisper back. So if we've taken out, if we've taken out Darmian and his lot and his crew, then this guy might not have any supplies coming his way anymore, and so he might be run out of business.
Toothy, you would know that whilst you did deal with Darmian, who was the leader, and a couple of the bandit groups, there were other bandit groups that would report there. So there are still bandits. You just dealt with one particular bandit leader.
Okay.
That'd be convenient, wouldn't it? We killed a guy and now there's no bandits in Vazra.
But is he connected to all the bandits in Vazra?
He might not be connected to any. He might just be really good at repurposing goods.
Yeah, maybe he has lots of bandit contacts.
Maybe.
Are you whispering over there? It's rude, you know. That's the whole
So is eavesdropping.
You're in my shop. Instead of purchasing from me, you're there whispering what sounds like accusations towards me. My business is fair and honest.
I see no evidence of a wrongdoing here.
Yeah.
I'll whisper to Toothy.
What's the problem with the way I'm trading?
Maybe we could, what's the word?
Disappear?
Maybe
Leave?
maybe make him disappear.
Oh, just leave.
Maybe we could tail him when the shop closes.
That might be something to do. But anyway, look, the way you do business, I'm not saying it's bad. In fact, I think it's the right thing to do. But in a matter of ways, it's also undercutting the livelihoods of other merchants. Although maybe they have it too good and you're doing the right thing to begin with. I don't really know. I'm trying to figure all that out as I go.
Business is like that sometimes. One man's loss is another man's gain, and vice versa. Why? You're mentioning that some people's businesses have been... I mean, Harrison did make some wild accusations in the street. Instead of accusing me of crime, perhaps they might simply speak to me as a compatriot. I could offer them some advice. Or even, assist them in gaining their supplies more cheaply.
Well, suppose then we were going to set up with such advice to compete. What contacts would you point us towards for such cheap goods?
Wholesalers. The trick? Wholesalers. So, over in the archipelago to the far east, there are many merchants where I grew up. And you'll always be able to get broomstick, for want of a better example, from a... you'll always be able to get a broomstick from a broomstick salesman far more cheaply than you will from a general merchant store who also sells broomsticks. Most of my goods come from overseas, and they come from ships selling thousands of the same goods. I'll buy 3 or 4 of the ones that have taken bumps or knocks along the way, and take for example this, and he'll show you a sort of a series of ropes and show you that there was some fraying at the end of these. And Master Nicholsfire, he was a rope salesman. He goes all round the whole of Mazrea selling ropes to sailors and other ship merchants. He specializes in flax and silks and hempen, and well, sometimes he can't sell them because they don't appear brand new anymore. If some ocean water has got into them, or there's a bit of fraying on the ropes, so he'll sell me a few on the cheap, as you will, and I will then repair them up, and in return, I recommend his business to those of, slightly higher class that I'm in contact of, and we foster a relationship over years. He provided most of the ropes for all the wagons and buttress that we used when the army was traveling. We used to, they used to put up these sort of temporary barricades linked by ropes, and all of that rope was supplied by Master Nicholsfire, and that's why we have a good relationship. So when he comes into Vazra, he ropes that are doing well, he drops by, and so on and so forth.
You're the first person to do this in Vazra.
Perhaps, I don't know. I don't know where Master Harrison gets his goods, but it seems to me that he purchases them from people off the street, who are only ever selling 1 or 2. I mean, there are occasionally exceptions. Some weird people come in with 24 daggers, but for the most part, and when somebody comes in with 24 daggers, he gets them more cheaply than he might, a single item. What it is, economics, friends. And contacts, knowing the right people. When he says that, Boxo, you kind of been staring him down. Well, give me that insight check of yours, that merchanty insight check. Not with advantage.
That's a 23.
Yeah, everything he's saying makes sense, but when he says, knowing the right people, he does just sound a little shady. Just sort of, there's something a little, he's a bit too smug, a bit too proud of himself, a bit too reassured.
Yeah. There's something you're not telling us.
Oh, well, of course, why would I let you on to all my secrets? But those are just some examples of where my wares come from. If you're not going to purchase anything, then I would suggest that this interrogation might be over.
We will be on our way then.
Oh, well.
Ta-ra.
I look forward to see if you continue with the low prices once you've driven everyone else out of business.
The markup on my goods is always the same. And then lowered afterwards if people lower theirs. I try and sell things for 3 times the price I get them at. But if others can sell them for twice as much, then I still need the wares, right? As long as I'm still making a profit. Even a copper shard on a piece is better than not selling it at all. Indeed, if I could drive out all the other competition and no competition came in to replace them, well, then I'd be in a place where I could charge anything I wanted. No merchant is really afforded that luxury. There's always competition somewhere. Well, have a wonderful evening. Pleasure to make your acquaintance, I suppose.
I apologise for our rudeness before.
I'm becoming quite used to it in this damned city.
Let's go back to the tavern.
As you guys head out, I don't know whether you'll be tailing him. I don't know whether you'll be headed to the unnamed tavern where there's a poltergeist in the ceiling in the next couple of hours. Whether you'll be going to Gay Celia's temple to collect a Rayoin. But whatever you'll be doing it next session.
Indeed.
As we will come to the timeless tradition of MVPs.
This really reminds me. There's this game called Dragon Quest 11, and in one of the cities, there are these two brothers who are merchants, and they sell the same thing. But if you keep telling each other that they lowered the price, they'll keep lowering it until it's like really super cheap, just to outbid each other.
I'll come to who gave the recap. Jack gave us a great recap. Rico, your MVP.
Pietro rolling incredibly high for everything today.
Yes, you did seem to have some nice dice today.
Yeah, and I'm sure that next session will.
Well, there'll be a fight, right? So suddenly he won't be able to roll over 7.
I'll be completely incompetent again. So,
Joe.
I will give it to your very quick alphabetical reading of the adventuring goods of various sorts, but then after it was just like, okay, so this is just the alphabet. Then you got a little more creative. I'm going to jump to a different part of the alphabet, but then managed all of a sudden to get to perhaps a block and tackle or a lock or a shackle. Yeah, a nice little rhyme. So I was very happy with that.
Literally opening different tabs, like, what the fuck does this guy sell? That was in my head, so I'm pleased that it worked out well. Oh, it's fine if you say anything quickly enough; it can seem like you're competent.
Yeah.
Josh, your MVP.
I really like Toothy teaching Petro how to sop up his food with bread. That was very, very sweet.
Yeah. Jack?
It's gonna be Boxo's continuous, incredibly nervous confrontation, like that he did once with the guy who stole from the dragon, and then now he was doing it to the shady shop owner. It's like
these prices are too much. Yeah, I really like that.
The consistency is great.
I'm afraid that for me it was just the Jack show today. I've got 4 MVPs, and they're all you. And I hadn't realised until this moment. So giving your oaths, your tenets to Gresha. Obviously I gave you inspiration in the moment, but making your promise to this girl, but also to yourself, that then is going to be... obviously, Jack, we talked about it beforehand. At the time, I thought, not really sure how that's going to come across. And it was brilliant. I really, really enjoyed it. I thought it was great. When you mentioned that people around here age differently, specifically you mentioned the sun, the number of times the sun goes around the world, which gave me a really good chuckle. There was a moment where you said, I whisper back really loudly. And then finally the moment where you say, is this where we don't play our hand? And the whole thing with playing your hand and stuff between you and Pietro was just holding your cards close. So yeah, I really enjoyed Toothy today, I think, because those are the only MVPs I wrote down, apart from Josh's nervous confrontation. Yeah. So no, I really enjoyed today. I think it was great. But that is where we're going to end. So just before we do, I do need to give out a tiny pittance of XP. You did get 2 little minute marks. So there is 30 XP for finding and more specifically sulfur and brimstone in the back office of Magic and Mystery. And secondly, there was... yes, the other thing was that you found 40 experience points for finding out about Vaclus's wholesalers. Development in the process. So I think a total of 70 increase, 70. But yeah, that is where we're going to end. So if you guys would like to say goodbye.
Goodbye.
We shall see you soon.
Yeah.